On Future Stars Friday, Ted Noffey certainly rose to the occasion, and I've got his namesake here, Ned Toffey. And first of all, just walking through the grounds here at Keeneland, so many people stopping to congratulate you. I have to imagine there at the Breeders' Cup itself, the congratulations and just the people being so happy for you with all across the industry. It must have been very heartening for you.
It really was. When this horse was named, I didn't know about it until I saw it in the workouts. And I really didn't expect this kind of reaction. I didn't even think that there would be any kind of a reaction. So just the well wishes and the congratulations from people. Yeah, it has been very nice.
When you saw that name come up in the work tab and you talked to your boss, Eric Gustafson of Spendthrift, could you have ever imagined the horse would be now an undefeated champion? It's unreal, right?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, Eric's named horses for a number of family members, and of course the most notable is Tamara, and she's turned out pretty well.
Well, take us through the race, because I do feel as though it shaped up to what the people wanted. We wanted to see a throwdown between Ted Noffey and Brant, and we sure got it.
Yeah, prior to the race, I was trying to do a little handicapping, trying to picture how I thought this would unfold. Bob loves to go to lead, and he loves to train his horses fast, and he certainly had been doing that with Brant. And having been just one turn a couple of times, I thought that Brant would be on the lead. And would we be sitting on his hip? Would we be 1 length, 2 lengths, 5 lengths back? So when I saw us sitting there just off his hip and looking pretty comfortable, I felt pretty good about things. And, you know, Johnny gave him a little nudge on the far turn, but then around the turn, he came to Brant really very much on his own at that point. And Johnny mentioned that when he saw some of the shadows that he actually pulled himself up a little bit, and I think that's when you saw those other horses coming to him. But as they came to him, he just suddenly kicked it back in and rebroke and took off again. And as Todd said, he wanted to go around again at that point. Johnny had a little trouble pulling him up. So good feeling about his ability to go 2 turns and to go 1.25 miles, fingers crossed. It's a long way off, a lot of time between now and May. Then hope we can get there ready to run another big race.
Well, undefeated, 4 for 4, won that debut spectacularly. Then we saw him take the hopeful, the Claiborne Breeders' Futurity, and now the Breeders' Cup World Championships Juvenile. He's got to be unanimous 2-year-old champion.
Well, I don't have a vote, so I won't comment on that, but it'd be hard to imagine that he wouldn't be.
And going forward, what is the game plan now? Is he going to chill out in Florida with Todd for a bit?
I think the first thing is that he'll get down to Todd's base in Florida, and Todd will assess him and sit down and map out a route. But Todd, with his top horses, the route to Kentucky is generally going to go through Gulfstream.
And a lot of those horses went on to be some big-time sires, right? And somebody asked you, I wish I would have thought to ask you this myself, when is this going to stop being weird for you? I thought that was a brilliant question, because the answer you gave, it was not only funny, but it's so true. What did you say?
Well, I said I think it's going to get really weird when he goes to the breeding shed. So you can imagine a whole line of jokes about that. So let's hope we can get him there. And after winning the Hopeful, we felt like he had 1 foot in the stallion barn, and at this point he'd be a very, very popular addition to anybody's stallion roster, regardless of what he does going forward. And they don't, undefeated 2-year-old champions don't come along very often. So he's already a very valuable commodity.
Ted Noffey's don't come along that often, and neither do Ned Toffey's. Congratulations on the Breeders' Cup Juvenile win. We look forward to so much more.
Thank you very much.